my goats. Notes, my goats. Notes, my goats. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Notes, my goats podcast. I am Steve.
I am Brandon.
Dude, what's going on?
Not a whole lot, man. I just have this random scratch in my throat. I'm not sick, but yet my voice is kind of hoarse. So we'll see how it goes.
My voice is kind of just my voice, I think.
Your voice is just kind of dumb.
It is. You're not wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
you're definitely not wrong there.
For sure.
But we got through January.
We did barely.
We made it through. We made it through January.
Podcasts, we made it through January squeaky clean. Life is a completely different
that's
story.
100% story.
That one we tripped and fell, and it's been a rough
as of
ride.
Recording, we still got 8 days left.
It's
so you
true.
never really fucking know.
That is very true. Very true.
A lot can happen in 8 days. I'm living proof of that shit.
Can happen for sure.
But we're through January. We ended with some Shania. We got some Shania in on Tuesday here.
We did.
Yeah, we did. Our guest had popped up when I said Shania. He was just all over it. But we got a little bit of a 25th anniversary of "Come On Over" on there. Let's Go Girls.
We definitely felt like a woman for sure.
We sure did. I do consistently. I'm a large man. I do have boobs.
Right.
It's okay though.
Speaking of boobs. Just speaking of the other, so I sleep without a shirt on. And the other day, my oldest walked in and she goes, "Dad, I wish I had big boobs like you." And I'm like, accurate.
Hey, life goals.
Something to strive for.
Yeah, right there.
Right.
Reminder of that when she's older and you're like, now your back hurts.
Yeah. I'm not going to. No.
Well, no. Tell your wife.
Yeah.
Speaking of boobs, who are we talking to today, Brandon?
So guys, we have
perfect segue for this podcast.
Yeah, it was a great segue. Guys, we have returning guest. We have comedian, Notes Magoats logo artist. And I remembered it the first time this time instead of the last time. And all around owner of probably the greatest mustache in all of West Michigan.
Oh,
guys, give it up for Carl Sobel. Carl, welcome back to the show, buddy. How's it going?
Oh, it's great. I'm happy to be here.
Good.
Yeah, I'm bummed we're not talking about Shania Twain. I'm a Shania fan.
Oh, dude,
my first concert ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
First concert I ever saw. I saw her like 3 times.
Dude, and that album we did on Tuesday is an absolute banger. It has the most singles of all time for one album.
Oh shit.
It's 12. It's a 16-track album. It's 12 singles.
Damn.
The next one that's closest is Thriller, has 9. There's a couple of them that have 9, but Thriller's one of the ones that has 9.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's nobody else has more than 9 singles, and she has 12 on one album.
Oh.
It's just, I mean, it just is. And she's doing stuff now.
Right.
Like she's putting out new music. It's not very good, but she's putting out new music.
Right.
But she's all over TikTok. She's all over social media, and she's still a smoke show, man. She's still hot.
There you go.
I don't know, and she's Canadian.
So speaking of smoke shows, Carl, what are we talking about today, and who are we talking about?
We're talking about one of the greatest rock bands to ever, the metal bands, Steel Panther.
Preach.
Yeah. The album "Feel the Steel." I believe that's one. I said
that is the one you sent us. Yes.
Yeah.
That is the one you sent us.
They have so many, but yeah,
they do.
I think it's one of their first albums.
Right.
It's very family friendly the whole way through.
Yeah, this is definitely one of our kid friendly episodes.
It's right up there with Kids Bop. So.
I'm thinking that the kids could bop to this one.
Absolutely. There's a couple that we could make it work, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I've seen worse things that kids listen to these days.
Yeah.
Like our podcast.
Yeah. Right. For sure.
So
Carl, what was it? We said, all right, Carl, you already knew how we do. Guests pick the album.
Yeah.
So we're like,
well, first you gave us like 4 bluegrass albums, like
true.
4 bluegrass artists, and you're like, wait a second, hold on.
Yeah.
Like, I got one for you. Have you heard of these guys? And I'm like, yes, I have.
And I said no, and I was like, no, I haven't, but that sounds like fun. And now then I immediately regretted it after listening to the album, but it's fine. So what is what is it about this album that you're like, I think this would be fun to review?
I honestly suggested it as a joke. I was
and
like,
I
there's
was
no
totally
way.
down.
See that? Do you know what that sound reminds me of, Steve? When
What?
Jer suggested Kid Rock a
You're
few
not
weeks
wrong.
ago.
Yeah, you're not wrong. These things happen, and then you have to eat your words. And I'm just like down. I'm like, yep, nope, you said it. Let's go.
Yeah,
That's the one.
but I think they're great because I love it when like there's a group of just extremely talented people, because I think they are legitimately talented musicians.
Yeah.
And they
100%.
use it for evil. Like they're like they don't take themselves serious, and they're just like making a mockery of the guys that do this for real. I feel.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Absolutely.
And
100%.
like I've seen them live multiple times, and it's like they're just, I mean, it is just weird. Like,
It'd be an experience. I'm thinking.
yeah.
Brandon. We have to do that one of these times. When next time they come through Grand Rapids, we have to go see these guys live. The tickets aren't very expensive. I did check.
Okay. No, that'd
So
be fun. I get to
it would
pull out
be
my leather pants.
yeah. You're good pleather out there. We'll get you out of them.
Like,
Get you into those.
Yeah, pleather. I'm not rich.
Yeah, we
like
gotta go pleather.
I just saw them like in November, I believe, when they were in Grand Rapids, and I'm pretty sure that's where I got COVID. Like I'm like,
Well,
there was
it
a
was either
guy.
that or it was when you were in Wayland. So one
It
of the
was
two.
they were it was the same exact weekend, so it was one of those.
Nice.
But like there was a guy walking around during the show just smoking a cigarette like indoors, and he gets yelled at, and he's like, "All right, I'll put it out." He just threw it on the ground, stumped it out with his foot, and then they just let him go. I'm like, this is insane, and like it was just, my girlfriend had never been to like a rock show before, so she was like, she's like, "Where's all the seats at?" I'm like, "No, you're gonna like, there's a pit."
Yeah.
It was a whole thing.
Her first rock show was Steel Panther. Oh
Yeah,
gosh,
it
I mean,
was
you set
very
the bar
awkward.
very high for her,
set the
Carl.
bar
It's
very
good.
high.
Yeah.
Next,
Well,
she's gonna
I
go see
went.
Fozzy.
Yeah, I showed up very high, so that helped.
Hey, that works.
I think it's like almost like you as a requirement to see these guys live. You have to be something, either high, drunk.
You can't have big backpacks hiding stuff, and you have to be high. So it all
Makes
works.
sense.
Yeah.
All right. So Steel Panther, American comedic glam metal band. There's a lot going on there. From LA, known for their profane and humorous lyrics, as well as their stage show. An over-exaggerated glam metal band. They really lean into it, guys. Been active since 2000. From 2000 to 2007, the band was actually known as Metal Shop and Metal School. They did appear on the Drew Carey Show, the Roast of Gene Simmons. They were on the Gene Simmons Family Jewels TV show, and we loved Gene Simmons there for a little while. And everybody forgot how much of a douchebag that guy is. Recorded the opening music for Rob Dyrdek's Fantasy Factory as well. And then they changed their name to Steel Panther in 2008. And as of then, they were signed to Republic Records, which is a subsidiary of Universal Records. So they kind of, I mean, they're not really a cover band, but they're more of a comedic band. They did kind of make it. Now, following the success of their debut album, Feel the Steel, the one we're doing today, the band was included in the ballot for Best Comedy Album for the Grammys, but they did fail to make the final nominee list. They've been on the ballot for the Best Comedic Album for the Grammys 3 times, but they haven't made the actual final list. So how these award shows generally go out, they send out a list of like 50, 60 bands or albums, and then they have people pick, they rank them or whatever, pick the top 5 or top 10, and then they figure out those ones, and that's who gets actually on the award, like the nominees for the Grammys or the Oscars. They have 5 total albums. The 6th one is actually going to be released later this year. They have a 6th one coming out right now.
Nice.
And this is its 5 total albums as Steel Panther. Metal School's got actually a couple more, so I think they have 8 or 9 total. How many Spotify listeners do you think these guys get on a monthly basis? We'll go with Brandon first. How many do you think they get?
I will say that they get 350,000
Okay. What about you, Carl? What do you guess? How many Spotify listeners do you think they average
per month
monthly?
I mean, I don't even know an accurate answer, so I'm gonna say 690,000.
Nice. 487.
Okay.
487,000. So almost half
Just
a
for
million.
reference, Carl, somebody like Ed Sheeran
It's
and
like 60 mil
Beyonce get like 60 million
a month.
Okay.
a month per month.
Okay.
Yeah. And then,
So they're like 10% of that. Well,
yeah.
less than that.
Well,
Yeah.
shit, they're I mean, they're $500,000, so they're better than other bands
I
we've
would
done
take
for
I
sure.
would take 1,000 of that
For sure.
for
A
sure.
month.
Okay.
Now, Feel the Steel was released October 6th, 2009. It's 11 tracks, 41 minutes long. The tracks, and I have to read the track names, this is a great thing ever. The tracks, Fat Girl, Stripper Girl, and Hell's on Fire did originally appear on the Metal School album called Hole Patrol in 2003.
Nice.
I can't believe we didn't do that one, Carl.
I was gonna say that, and that's probably that girl cop's favorite album.
Probably. Oh, yes. It's charting #1 in Tennessee right now.
Yeah.
This album did peak at number 98, which coincides with the amount of men that she slept with.
Oh wow.
On the Billboard 200. It was #1 on the comedy charts.
Not surprised by that at all.
No, neither am I. The critics applauded the band on being able to take songs in 2009 and make them sound like they came out in the 80s. However, the lowbrow lyrics turned off a lot of the reviewers, saying there's a fine line between stupid and clever. Now, as a podcast, we haven't figured that fine line out yet, but we're getting there, I think.
Yeah.
Another reviewer said this album is Spinal Tap, brought ahead 5 years into the coked up cock rock era.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll take it.
Valid.
The album does feature a couple of guest spots that we all should know. The first one is Scott Ian, who is in Anthrax. He's on a track. Justin Hawkins is the lead singer of The Darkness. He's on a track. M. Shadows, who is in Avenged Sevenfold. He's probably the one we all don't know who he is. And then Corey Taylor, the lead singer of Slipknot, is actually on a track.
Mm-hmm.
Singles. These are actually okay. They're tame names because they're singles. Death to All But Metal, which the video actually does feature Sarah Silverman. If you didn't watch the video for that, it's pretty funny, even though she's not a podcast favorite of one of us at least. Community Property and Eyes of a Panther are the 3 singles.
Interesting.
I think those are the 3 tracks you can actually say without getting in trouble.
Well, probably.
We'll find out more about that later.
Yeah. Right.
Guys, I'm just to break this. I am so looking forward to Shatter's Poetry Slam. You have no idea.
Most people are.
Oh, it's
Two-thirds of this podcast are really looking forward to it.
I have been
1/3 of this
repping-
podcast has done a ton of like Hail Marys already today.
I have been repping this podcast for the last few days, saying how excited I am for this, guys. You have no idea. Like, Brandon has actually tried to pay me, and you know he's Dutch and super different cheap, and he's tried to pay me to do this game for him.
I did. And you're still like, it ain't worth it, bud.
It ain't worth it. No, I need this, is what it is. So he's gonna take one for the team in more ways than one. So speaking of Brandon, take one for the team. What is your favorite track on this album?
Oh man, I picked Party All Day as my favorite track on this one. 1980s synth starts this track, mixed in with that Living on a Prayer sound, just really sucked me in for the whole track. Chorus on this track, super amazing as well. Just makes you want to party all day. And then also for those of you who know me well, know that I love a good key change. And this track has one. It's pretty solid. It just elevates the song to another level. So for me, Party All Day was my favorite track. Carl, what about you, man? What was your favorite track on this one?
I'm gonna have to say Girl from Oklahoma.
The good one.
It's it's a very the title is fairly tame, but then the song is one of the most fucked up songs. And then seeing it live, I've seen it live multiple times, and it is one of the best songs to see live. They like the performance for it is amazing, and it's just the whole crowd gets into it. It's like it felt like the Freebird for that show.
I like it.
It's their Freebird. That's amazing.
I don't know. We did, my girlfriend and I, because we went to see them, and we did leave during that song, because during that song they bring any woman up on stage that would want to get up on stage and flash. And my girlfriend was like, "Yeah, we can leave now." I was like, "Yeah, that's probably a good idea."
And you're like, "Wait, can we just stay for 3 more minutes?"
I'll meet you at the car.
Yeah.
And actually,
Really
I
warm
want
it
to
up.
say, You did miss one thing for their biography. They were the wedding band for Chad Kroger and Avril Lavigne.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That explains a lot.
I can't believe that marriage didn't last.
Look at this photograph of me.
Wow. With
in
this
Steel
guy with his dong
Panther.
out.
Oh
Oh,
man.
that would be
All
so they
Canadians stick together, apparently.
they would be like I think I would want these guys or the Dan band to be
Oh yeah.
a wedding band. I mean, the Dan band, we need to do the Dan band's wedding album, Brandon. It needs to
Okay.
happen.
All right.
Because it's top notch.
Yeah.
But they'd be a good wedding band, I think. It'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Especially if your parents had no idea what they were paying for.
For sure. Oh, for
All right,
sure.
kids, you guys can probably book them. I'm sure they're not very expensive. Get it
There
done.
you go. And then
Have
you
mom
can
and
say
dad
that
pay
you'd have
for
the
it.
Dan band on at your wedding. So
Or Steel Panther. Either way, guys.
Right,
And you have to
exactly.
TikTok that for sure. It has to
For
happen.
sure.
All right. So my favorite was Community Property.
Of course it was, Steve.
It was.
Good one.
I'm a sucker for a good ballad. Every 80s band had to have at least one of these on every album by law to be called a hair band. It just had to happen. Look it up. I'm telling you. I can't believe that Motley Crue didn't write this first, though. Maybe Tommy Lee was a ghostwriter. I'm not really sure. Brandon, you can look that up for me. It'd be great. First, search videos of Tommy Lee, and then go from there. Make sure you use your wife's computer, not yours. Learn how he steers a boat. There you go. Beep boop, beep boop. The track really captures an 80s ballad perfectly. It is incredibly dirty. It's everything you ever wanted from a Poison track with a lot more dong references. And like Carl, I nearly went with a girl from Oklahoma because it's, again, a title that you wouldn't expect it to be as dirty as it absolutely is. But yes, Community Property is still makes me laugh. I don't care if it pops up on my Spotify when I'm listening to stuff in the car around the house. I have to skip it completely when the kids are in the house because I get in trouble. But Community Property for me was my favorite. Now, it is time for us to get into our first game that I'm going to do, Brandon.
You are
I'm going to
going
do
to
this one.
Yeah. Guys, it is time for the Steel Wang.
Let's play Wang. Let's play Wang. Word association name game. Wang. Word association name.
All right, Steve. So
All right.
you are in charge of the word association name game.
I am.
I couldn't pay you enough for me to take this one.
You probably could have, but you're cheap.
I am very cheap.
You were trying to come at me with the low
I was
ball.
I was trying to come at you with money, and I should have come at you with booze.
You're not wrong.
Right.
That would have might have
booze and a
actually saved
donut.
you.
Booze and a donut.
Again, yes, 100%. I
Yes.
can't be bought.
Missed it. All
Yeah,
right.
missed opportunity there.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. So I'm going to
my
assume
first
you've
one,
got two, right?
I do have two.
All right.
This is actually pretty difficult to come up with these ones as well to keep them somewhat radio friendly. Even though we're not on the radio, but I tried my best. First one. A note to all personal trainers.
Eating ain't cheating.
Eating ain't cheating.
Yeah, I like that. Nice work.
That was again that title is not what you assume. Well,
Nope.
maybe it is what you assume.
Nope,
Go
yep.
for it.
Can I guess your second one?
You can try.
Asian hooker.
Oh, that would have been a good one, but no.
Okay, I was.
No, that would have been a good one. Consider me astonished.
Oh, the shocker.
Yeah,
The shocker.
absolutely.
That one is exactly what you think it's about.
Yeah.
Rock on,
Exactly.
friends. Rock on, friends.
Exactly what you think it's about, guys. Yes, the second one is the shocker.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you have people in your house laughing?
Oh, my
Steve?
wife just called me probably not a nice name. I only heard part of it, but I'm sure it wasn't great.
Oh, good for sure.
So
Yep.
it's time for our least favorite tracks.
It is time for our least.
Now these
favorite.
all made me laugh, but I did pick one.
Okay. What is it?
Hell's on Fire.
Okay.
I picked this track because it's the last track on the album and I wanted more. I did listen to more Steel Panther after I was done with it here. Every single track makes me laugh. This one did too. But it's really just about hell being hot. But Brandon, did you know you could cook an egg on the floor of hell?
I mean,
I'm gonna
sure
test that one out for you because I've listened to Steel Panther all day long, and I'm pretty sure I've negated every good thing I've ever done,
yeah, you've
and I'm
got
okay
the
with that.
your handbasket has your name written all over it already, Steve.
Considering
So
the memes that I've sent you in the last few days, I've already booked my ticket,
absolutely.
and the ones I didn't
It's
send you, I could have just
it's signed, sealed, delivered for
yeah,
sure.
TSA approved.
Yeah,
I got pre-approved.
there you go.
So mine was Hell's on Fire because generally it's just about hell being hot. We're pretty much aware of that already, but I mean,
Yep,
A+ for trying.
there you go.
Uh, Carl, did you have a least favorite track, or one you skip more often
Um,
than not?
boy, I didn't really think of that. I would. Shit, it's so hard to say because I listened to this again today and I was like, man, I love all of these.
Yes.
Um,
So if there's one
I
that you would skip,
I think all
otherwise.
right. So I think I know you're gonna hate me for this, but Community Property, just because I mean it is a great song, but like I can't work out to a ballad,
No, you
I get
can't.
it.
you know. But
Yeah.
that's it. But I'm
You're not out there
barely
pumping
gonna
iron to November Rain or anything.
exactly.
Yeah,
I understand.
for
Brandon,
sure.
what about you? What was your least favorite?
Man, I'm kind of with Carl, not with Community Property, but with the fact that it's really hard to find a deep cut, or not a deep cut, a least favorite track on this one.
It's a lot of deep cuts.
There's a lot of deep on this one. But for me, guys, I picked Fat Girl as my least favorite track. Now, the song isn't bad by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, but yes, but being a larger fella myself, like I feel bad that they're like making fun of a fat girl. Like all these guys want is just a big piece of meat. She's just the object of their satisfaction. Like there really isn't anything wrong with this track at all. It's hilariously funny. And I just relate to the fact that it's being fat and a piece of meat. So that is pretty much it. And I was kind of slightly 1% offended. So
1%?
I don't know.
I like it.
It's the milk I drink, apparently. I don't know. So actually I drink 2%. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So guys, it it is time for our second game that I have to do. Oh guys, it is time for the Panther chat. Oh god.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen,
This is the Shatner's Poetry Slam.
All right, Carl. Let him get into the song a little bit before you jump in.
Yeah.
All right, guys. It is time for Shatner's Poetry Slam. And as always, I've picked 2 tracks on this one. And Steve is making me read the lyrics in a Shatner-esque way. So,
Hoping we break the record for Wheeler Walker Jr. and make you read like a half a song.
oh man, I don't know. Please not. Let's not.
You
All
can
right.
say all of these words. I'm just saying
I
that right
can
now.
say all of these words. All right. Here's your first one, guys. Well, I bet you never guessed when you came to the show you'd be getting on the bus with me and doing some blow. Your mama's in the parking lot looking for you. She's going to find you when I'm done, all covered with goo. Oh, mama's little girl got all sticky. Hair on your nipples, zits on your box. In part of the song title, you're considered a fox. What'd you have to do for that backstage pass? Because I found a poison laminate inside of your ass.
We both
mean,
know what it is.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's Girl from Oklahoma.
Girl from Oklahoma.
It is Girl from Oklahoma. Nice job.
You're just looking at us like you motherfuckers. You
Well,
motherfuckers.
I can't see you because I'm on my screen. Like I'm on my computer reading the lyrics. So I don't have the video pulled up. So I don't see what you guys are saying. All right. Next one. I would give you the stairs in the sky, but they're too far away. If you were a hooker, you know, I'd be happy to pay. If suddenly you were a guy, I'd suddenly be gay. Because my heart belongs to you. My love is pure and true. My heart belongs to you. But my cock is song title.
Community
Just finish it out,
property.
Brendan. Yes, community property.
Yeah. Oh gosh. All right. That was fun. Oh man.
Are you
All right.
crying?
Oh,
No,
man.
I'm just nervous. Um
As long as you don't do death to all but metal, I think you're fine.
Yeah, you really would piss a lot of people off if you did that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we also found out that your cock is a song title, so it kind of works out for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe I'll, instead of naming this episode the album and with Carl, it's just gonna be My Cock is a Song title, and just we'll go from there.
You might get a few more listens on that one.
True. I also might get a call from HR.
I mean, just don't post it when you're at work. Let me do that for you.
Or just don't share it. There's that too. So we'll
Yep.
see. Whatever.
Tag me
Anyway,
14
guys.
times
So
then.
speaking of cocks are community property, guys, let's talk about things that are deep. Steve, let's start with you, man. What was your deep cut dark horse track on this one?
Dude, I went with your favorite track, Party All Day. So if it's a God-given directive that you fuck all night and party all day. So
Yep.
I need to get a bitchin' band and get rid of my stupid job. For sure. Now the track really had me at that Bon Jovi, Richie Sambora feel. But turning gonorrhea into a kick-ass song with a biblical calling, I mean, come on. It's a win. Gotta do that. I do love the gang vocals and that keyboard that were mixed in to the track. And just like I said, that Richie Sambora guitar riff is a direct Bon Jovi like rip-off track, and I loved every minute of it. And just hearing that, and you can actually hear that in several other tracks. There is like a callback to another like band or artist where you can hear some of the guitar riffs that are coming at it, and you're like, oh, that sounds like Poison, or that sounds like this.
Yeah.
And then they do that on purpose. So kind of it's super awesome. But I picked Party All Day. What about you, Carl?
right.
Did you have a dark cut or deep cut?
Well, I mean, I was gonna say "Girl from Oklahoma," but that was also my favorite. So, just because it's such a great song.
It is.
It is a good song.
But for a deep cut, I mean, I would have to say "Fat Girl" because I love the guitar, like the way they make that whistle, like the like they hit that like kind of harmonic. I don't know. It's so stupid to have such a dumb song with that guitar. I don't know.
Yeah.
You guys have great musical answers to all these, and I'm just like, this
That's
one's
okay.
neat. Like,
I like how it's
No,
it's
you're
called
good.
Fat Girl, and then "Thar She Blows" is part of the
Yeah.
song title.
Yeah. Yep.
So I agree with you though. It does. I mean, on both ends of it, like Brandon's side of things being his least favorite, but you're being a deep cut. I can see it both ways. It's one of those ones that you're like, when you pull the album up, you look at the song titles, you're like, probably not gonna like that one. And you're like, it's
Right.
pretty funny.
it's an earworm.
It is like
It
you
is.
can't stop yourself.
But that's
Make
a lot
sure you
of
have
these,
your headphones
But
in
that's a
when you listen to
lot of
this
these
album.
tracks, though. They're like,
Yeah.
you have to. Yes, the music is great, but to really understand this band, you've got to dig deep a little bit.
Oh
For
yeah.
sure. You gotta
For
get in there and actually like listen to the lyrics. And if you can just listen to it in the
Yes.
background and
Yep.
not listen to the lyrics, like kudos to you, because there's no way in hell.
Right.
Because I always caught myself going, what did they just say? What? No. Yep,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
said that.
Right.
They said that. So what about you, Brandon? What was your deep cut?
Death to all but metal was my
It was
deep cut.
it was the Kanye reference, wasn't it?
It 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I picked this track because it 100% sets the tone for the remainder of this album. And I had never listened to this band or this album before. So
Well,
if
you know
can,
what you're gonna get right away.
huh?
You know what you're gonna get right away.
Oh yes, you do. And and once I heard that song, I was like, fuck, great. All right, let's go. So there we go. So if you can get through and can have some bit of comedic appreciation for what they're talking about on this track, then you should be all right getting through most of the rest of this album. Whether or not you need to go to church and pray afterward is another thing all in itself. But this track, Death to All But Metal, really helps set the tone. It kind of brings in their physical aesthetic of what the album cover looks like and pushes it forward. So that one for me, Death to All But Metal, was my deep cut. Let's get into our final thoughts now, Steve. I will start because I'm sure everybody is wondering what my thoughts are on this.
Oh, definitely.
If you are easily offended or can't handle quality or pretty raunchy humor, then this album may not be the best one for you.
Fuck it, listen to it.
I mean, right. Absolutely. However, as a comedian or one who has done comedy in the past, I can have an appreciation for the art, even though most of the lyrics make me blush. As a band, they really lean into that 80s vibe and do a fantastic job of portraying it. Musically, these guys are top notch. They know how to play the snot out of their instruments. Super good. With all of that together, I'm giving this one a 7.5 out of 10.
Nice.
Yeah. Carl, what about you, man? What are your final thoughts on this one?
I mean, it's just a great album that, I mean, I feel like this, along with like Wheeler Walker, like stuff like that, like they just kind of stand alone in their own, like you can't really compare them to much else, because it's like you're getting comedy, you're getting just great musicians. And then I think tying in, like seeing the live performance that I have, that like adds a whole nother layer to like,
Oh, for
because
sure.
their stage show is just so much more, because like they argue and they fight during the show, and like the band breaks up, or like their bass player is just like checking his hair in a vanity on stage. Like they're just like, it's the whole thing.
So it's a
So, I mean,
show. It's more of it's an experience.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
Exactly. Like, so I mean, in the spirit of Steel Panther, I will give it a 6.9 out of 10.
Absolutely. You know what's funny?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Batch did the same thing when we did Wheeler Walker Jr.
Oh, now I feel like a hack.
That's okay. You didn't know it.
You're good. You're good. That's a great one. That's a great. You got to do it. It's good.
Yeah.
Got it.
Otherwise, it's 10.
Yeah.
Nice. So for me, guys, I really would challenge anyone, whether you are super conservative or not so much, to listen to this album if you're having a bad day. If you can't laugh at just the insane, over-the-top lyrics and just sit back and just cry laughing, like you're really missing out on life. Like you need to live it up a little bit more. Go get laid, get some weed. What do you got to do? Find a way to like loosen your ass up a little bit, because this album is perfect to just bust you out of a rut when you're
Yeah.
feeling like you are stuck.
Yep.
Because it's so over the top that you can't take it seriously at all. But then you can also look back and like, wow, they are fantastic musicians who I have no doubt put on a hell of a stage show. Just listening to the albums that I've checked out, there's no doubt in my mind that it just lends to a stage show. The lyrics are super duper clever, and really the funny thing is a lot of these could be from the 80s. They could be from the hair bands. Like they're even though they're completely dirty as hell, they'd be like a PG movie now. When back in the 80s, like they're super dirty now. They're like X, but you know it's 80s PG. It's okay. The music is spot on for the type of band they're trying to be and what they're able to do. They're entertaining, super fun. I can't wait to see them live. I'm hoping that I can catch them with a tour with Uncle Wheeler, because I think that'd be hilarious to see those guys tour together. It'd be, I mean, you could pull some Southern rock out of this too and get Wheeler involved. He might be
There you
okay with
go.
it. I'm pretty sure they're up his alley. As long as they don't try to do like, Florida Georgia Line or anything like that, bro country, Wheeler will be down. But he did say he's taking down all pop country this year, so I'm looking forward to what Wheeler's got coming up in 2023.
Nice.
But for me, I gave it a 9 out of 10. It just I kind of found myself stuck in a lot of ruts in the last month or so, and I was at work with my headphones on, stupid laughing, looking like I was probably ridiculously, out of my mind, which I probably was. But I mean, I didn't care. I was having a good time. And I just couldn't take my headphones out because nobody could hear what I was actually listening to at work because I
Right.
want to keep my job. I like it.
Hey, boss.
Um,
Hey, boss, take a listen.
just look at well, my boss would probably be okay with it. Well, the other people that probably wouldn't be.
Sure.
But so that's been Steel Panthers, Field of Steel. Now, Carl, this is actually coming out February 3rd. Did you got anything coming up early February or mid-February that you can
Ooh,
promote?
I probably do. I mean, I have my weekly open mic in Grand Rapids. It's every Wednesday at 9 o'clock at River City Saloon. It's a blast. We have great comics.
Free, right?
Yeah,
And
it's
that
a
one's
free
free.
show. If it comes out today, I am in Portage, Indiana.
Look at you.
Yep. But actually, a great thing. I am. I don't have the. I just have the cities these shows are in. But if you would like, I am doing the polar plunge for the Special Olympics on February 11th.
Oh, fun.
So, if you would be inclined to want to donate to that,
Get the stash all curled up.
oh yeah, I'm gonna be full. That should be even better. But yeah, if you want to donate to Special Olympics, that'd be amazing. And then you can follow my socials, and I'll have where I'm performing because I'll be like in like duet and all over that area.
I'm guessing you probably got some Laugh Fest stuff coming up too. Surely
I am
enough.
not
And
on Laugh Fest this year.
you're not on Laugh
Unfortunately.
Fest? Holy cow.
No, there's not a lot of local shows.
Oh,
No.
okay.
But
We could have figured out. But yeah,
I'll be on the
so
open mics.
there you go. Get you around. We'll share your socials as we normally share your stuff with our page as well. We like to share all of our GR and KZU friends that do all the fun stuff around here.
Appreciate
Brandon,
it.
where can the kids find us?
Oh, you can find us all over, guys. You can find us on Facebook at search the Notes Magoats podcast. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Notes Magoats pod. You can find us on Twitter, but fuck Elon Musk for
We
the
don't
time
post on
being.
there.
So yeah, we don't.
I'm gonna get my blue check mark though. Fuck that guy.
Absolutely, we'll pay for a blue check mark. I kind of just want to go on one of his penis rockets. I'm not gonna lie. No, that's Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos has one that looks like a penis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to go on a rocket to space. Goal for 2023. I don't know. Probably a bad
right on
time.
that.
Probably a bad time and bad episode to talk about wanting to ride a penis rocket.
Or the perfect one.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
true.
We are gonna go to Tennessee at some point this year.
Yikes.
Didn't Kid Rock ride a rocket shaped like a dick in like his like Freedom music video? Or We the People? I think it was supposed to look
I
like the
think
middle
s-
finger or something, but it just looked like a dick.
I think you're right.
Which he kind of does, so
think
it
you're
works
right.
out that way.
For sure.
Art imitating life.
Absolutely. Guys, you can email us, the Notes of a Goats podcast at gmail.com if you ever feel so inclined. The only thing I get nowadays is just a weekly reminder of where we're charting in the world and spam. So it'd be great to get some other things.
Yeah.
If you're on Apple Podcasts or whatever, wherever you are, head on over to Apple, give us a 5-star rating, write us a review. We will read it on the show because we love to do that. And we haven't had a chance to do that in a very long time. So it'd be fun to do that. We're at 14 reviews right now, 14 reviews. So it'd be awesome to get to 20 by the end of the year. That's kind of what my goal for.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
We'll see. But yeah, so we'll push for that. But that's
Awesome.
kind of it over here, Steve.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Carl, thank you so much for coming on. This has been a lot of fun. We look forward to having you back at some point this year.
Yeah, thanks for
Get you
having me.
going. I know we'll see you out at one of these open mics at some point
Oh yeah.
because you're at most of them. So we can't just go anywhere without seeing you somewhere.
Yeah.
So we'll check it out, guys. If you guys haven't checked out Carl on Facebook or Instagram, we will post that stuff in our show notes as well, so you can check them out there. Follow him. Even if you don't check out all the shows, he posts so many comedy shows that are happening every single week all over West Michigan. There's no reason not to go out and have some fun. And I would say at least half of them are free, Carl.
Yeah. A lot
At
of the
least
open
half
mics are
of the
free.
shows that
Yeah.
you post are free. I mean, you do post some paid ones, but even like the tickets for those are only like $10-15 at the most.
Yeah,
Generally.
they're fairly cheap.
They're fairly inexpensive for a date night out with the lady or the husband there. That's not bad. But guys, keep supporting us. Support local comedy and our friends here. We do appreciate it. But other than that, this has been Steel Panthers Field of Steel, Notes to Goats podcast. I am Steve.
I am Brandon.
and we will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Welcome back, everybody.